Famous writer-director Joss Whedon is no longer going to be writing or directing Batgirl. It was announced that he was going to be directing, and I think last year, I think March or sometime around there. That's not going to be the case. And if you were to look at his words, he's making it sound like it was his decision to leave. But I don't think that's entirely the case. And when the news dropped, a lot of DC fans on Twitter were overjoyed, which I found hilarious. And I'll talk a bit about that, the reaction to it, and my reaction to it. But first, let me get to the article that was reporting on it. A lot of places reported on it, but this one is from Variety. All right, there's the headline there. Joss Whedon exits as Batgirl movie director. And let's get into it. It's pretty short. Joss Whedon has left as writer and director of the Batgirl movie for Warner Brothers and DC Entertainment, citing story issues as the reason for his departure. Quote, Batgirl is such an exciting project and Warner's DC such collaborative and supportive partners that it took me months to realize I really didn't have a story. He thanked Jeff Johns, DC President, Chief Creative Officer, and Warner Brothers Picture Group President Toby Emmerich, I kind of mangled that, saying, I'm grateful to Jeff and Toby and everyone who was so welcoming when I arrived and so understanding when is there a sexier word for failed? Sources close to the situation, I'm skipping down a bit, told Variety that the decision for Whedon to depart was a mutual one and reflects the studio's desire to seek more female directors, particularly on projects centered on female characters. And so I don't know, there could be a confluence of issues why Joss Whedon left. I'm thinking that, Warner Brothers gave him the opportunity to release this statement to make it look like it was his decision and to be a bit more, I guess, fair or nice to him. I don't know what happened. I mean, I know that when the news broke yesterday, a lot of DC movie fans were happy that he was gone, which I kind of sort of saw coming. Now, for one, I'm someone who was open to Joss Whedon's direction on Justice League. I like Justice League in spite of its faults. It was a rapid departure from what Zack Snyder did, and I think a lot of DC fans who liked what Zack Snyder did were unhappy that Justice League was kind of a 180 from that. And and they're looking at blaming Joss Whedon as someone who messed up Zack Snyder's vision. I don't know. I think there was a confluence of factors and you shouldn't just blame him. I mean, I think the fact that Justice League was a mashup between two different directors with two different styles and two different visions, it was always going to be problematic to take, such a different oil and water, maybe combinations, and make them a complete whole that was satisfactory to everyone. I don't know if you can blame either director. You just blame the fact that they're just two very different kinds of things being forcefully combined by a studio. So, that's my I'm trying to be high-minded about it. And, I felt that a lot of the jokes Joss Whedon wrote for Justice League, I thought they were funny, a lot of them, not all of them, but I don't know, I'm not really too quick to dogpile on him, because I just think it was a really messy situation, and it would have been hard for anyone to really come out looking great given what was happening with Justice League. And, Joss Whedon there were allegations against him from his ex-wife. I don't know if that played a factor in it. I don't know. It could be multiple factors. But anyways, he's out. And now Warner Brothers is apparently looking for a female director to helm Batgirl because it stars a female superhero. And I guess they're doing that because Patty Jenkins, a female director, successfully directed Wonder Woman, a female superhero movie last year. And there's a lot of representation, positivity going on with Black Panther just came out, was very successful, directed by a black director, starring a black superhero. And maybe Warner Brothers and Hollywood in general is looking a bit more closely at having directors direct movies who actually have a lot in common with their main characters in the movies. Perhaps. I mean, I doubt, it's going to be a situation where we'll never see a man directing a movie that stars a woman ever again. But I'm thinking in this case, maybe Warner Brothers is trying to do that for those reasons. And also because the last time they had a woman direct a female superhero movie, Wonder Woman, that turned out great. Now, I hope that, if the Batgirl movie is still happening, they don't adapt the Killing Joke storyline to start with. I know that has been suggested by some other people as a good one, but I just think that's going too fast. I think that this should be either an origin movie of Batgirl or of her already being the superhero Batgirl. I mean, the Killing Joke is all about, I don't know, it's just too soon to have her, all of a sudden, spoilers, get shot and paralyzed. And, that happens after someone's already been the superhero for a while, just the way it happened in the comics. So I don't think that's a very good first Batgirl story. If they ever do it, they might never do that storyline. And I'd be perfectly fine with that. But anyways, personally, I think Joss Whedon could have done a good job with Batgirl. We'll never know what he would have done because he's not attached to it anymore. Maybe some of what he said is true. Maybe he wasn't able to find a take that works. But I'll bet you that if Justice League had been more successful, and if maybe his ex-wife hadn't put a lot of the stuff he'd done out on blast in front of the whole world, he might still be involved in this movie. But, who knows? We'll never know. I just hope that whoever Warner Brothers gets to replace him is good and does a good job, of course, right? The DC fanboy in me wants all DC movies to do well and everybody on them to work on them fine. But anyways, I'm ambivalent. I mean, I am happy in the fact that I think a lot of people in the general public and the media, I mean, I'm making a big generalization, are happy about this news. And if so, I'm good because DC needs some positive news coming its way. So if the general consensus is that Joss Whedon is leaving and that this is a good decision on DC and Warner Brothers' part, then good, because I think the DC movie brand needs to get more of a rep for knowing what it's doing rather than not knowing what it's doing. So if that's how people are taking this, then great. I know that sounds, I don't know, maybe that's not the best reasons for me to be okay with this, but, I want my DC to do well. Now, I'm sorry if Joss Whedon was kicked out and he didn't deserve it, and it was for political reasons, and he might have done a good job. Like, I want to be fair to the guy. But, that's my take. But anyways, I'll be making more videos about DC movies, of course. If you like this video and want to watch me make more videos about DC movies and TV shows, please like the video and subscribe to the channel because I appreciate your viewership. And I will talk to you soon. Bye.